Sticking forward, turn the engine off. So that will dissolve slowly. You hear me dissolve slowly? Yeah. Let's go find our Valtra. Okay, this is only an FS19 map. Scott McThree ready. Welcome to my Saturday stream. Yeah, this is a long-term, very long-term series where we have played Oakfield Farm. I would say this is a very mature farm at the moment. From what I've heard from Oxygen David, he is not planning to retread any of his Farm Sim 19 maps for 22. So he's going to be doing all new maps over the coming years on 22. And I think he said it takes him about 6 months to do one map. Now with Calmsden Farm, he created Calmsden Farm using the FS19 Giants editor. And effectively he is converting that map to FS22. And he said it's quite a lot of work to do that. So he doesn't expect to have it done until possibly February, I think he said. Maybe March. But again, he didn't release Calmsden on 19 except to his testers to just test out the map generally. And I'm not one of these testers, so... but he's already started work on a second map. But we'll probably see maybe 4 or 5 maps from him in the coming years. But they will not be any of the maps we've seen before, so... Was it? His Sandy Bay done, Oakfield Farm is done, Lone Oak Farm. Is it Chellington he did? I think Chellington was Bullet Bills, but he converted it to FS19. But yeah, we won't see any of the existing maps. That's fine. I'm fine with that. It's nice to explore new maps. This was a Farm Sim 17 map, but I never really played it on 17, so... For 19, it's new to me. And this is the gap, this is the gap. And we'll drive out onto the field and expand. Oh, I don't have to expand the boom. I will anyway. This is where we got up to. But he's been taking input on his Discord, and I think in general, most people seem to be of the opinion that they like how this map has 2 preset farms, 3 if you count the horse farm, although that's not particularly big. But having the ability to tailor part of the farm to yourself is a preferred thing. I'm going to stick that on the worker. We'll go up to our main farm. So for example here we've got all of these buildings are preset. I can't delete them, I can't do anything. I have to live with this as it is. I can't get rid of the cow shed. But he then, even in Farm Sim 17, he then provided this section down here as an expansion yard. So we go through this gate and I'm able to paint the ground how I want. I can put sheds up as I want and just generally make this an extension to the main farm up at the top there. But it's my own thing. I could put production facilities down here. I happen to have put sheds down here. And yeah, that sort of thing. You need to stop doing that now. Thank you. Guess I missed a bit, but that's fine. But he's looking for designs in 22. He's probably going to stick with the predetermined farmyard, just because he's basing the map on the real world. So he knows the area that he's mapping. His maps are based around where he lives, because he knows the area well. He feels he can put his best efforts into them. It's not like, if he wanted to do a Scottish map, doing a field trip up to Scotland every so often to make sure he's getting everything right. Because you can only go so far off Google Maps. So he's got a good supply of ideas around his locality. So we're going to see, parts of England based around, I guess, the West Country. Not quite Wales, not quite the old, what is it? The Celtic stomping grounds, Devon and Cornwall. But West Country farms. But a little bit of artistic license to give us areas where there's a BGA, whereas in real life there isn't one, and there's production facilities, or there's space where we can put our own production facilities. And I think it's a good way to do things. Alien Jim's an alternate design where he will design a map with the feel of a geographical region, and then gives you buildings that match. Which again, something I appreciate. It's kind of a problem. Come on, there we go. When we go to Placeable Sheds, where are Placeable Sheds? Going to here is sort of, everybody's using these, or if you want something that looks a little bit more authentic, British, you want something like that, these things, they're sort of useful generic sheds, but I think these are the ones I'm using here. But I want something that doesn't feel out of place. So to do an American map, I want red barns, as an example. I don't necessarily want red barns, but that idea where you've got an American style barn rather than a European style barn. And I think the barns we generally get in the base game, they're good barns, but they're not geographically specific barns. Okay, how are we doing? We're nearly 3/4 of the way through this. So that's good. I could have got wider booms for this, but I think 32 meters is a good compromise, something that's gonna cover areas fairly well, but isn't going to be too unwieldy when we get to smaller fields with tree overhangs. Which we have a lot of on this map. One of the reasons why we play it. Swing that about. Seems to be a little bit of a delay when I turn on the sprayer before you actually see the spray effect. Now, I'm not necessarily going to play Calmsden Farm as my main Saturday map, but at the moment it looks like the best choice for what I like in a map. So that's gonna be what it is. Normally in the past, for Farm Sim 19, I waited until we had seasons in game before I started. I switched over from 17, and because of that, there was a lot more opportunity to have multiple maps to choose from for the Saturday series. Now, for 19, Oxygen David did Marwell Manor as his first Farm Sim 19 map, which I felt it was a small map. I don't know that it was. Whereas this is a big map, but because he converted this over from 17, he did a couple of 17 ports to 19, and so there was a lot of choice on his maps. I could have done Lone Oak as well. Why did we stop? Go. But I sort of started up Lone Oak a couple of times, but I really couldn't find the inspiration for that map, so the series never really went anywhere. I don't think I streamed any of them. It was just personal play style. This one was just a head first dive. I didn't play around with it to see what's what and make decisions. It was just, we're going to play this map, let's go. And I think it was a good job. I've enjoyed this map. When my hard drive crashed, we switched from the base Oxygen David map and went with the farming agency version of the map. Hence, we can do contracts on this field, which you can't on the base map. And we have additional crops. I'm running Maize Plus, because the farming agency version of this map was designed for the full Maize Plus series, whereas the base map, I think I could use one part of Maize Plus, but not the two expansion, extra bits, because the base map doesn't have all of the drop, or was it the fill types that you can drop on the ground, so that's a thing. And also we have complicated animal feed things going on and all the rest of it. So how is... these fields don't look dark green. These just got planted. So it's a couple of months before we get anything ready to harvest. So once we're done with this, I suppose we could look up other contracts. There's a lot of baling contracts, cultivating contract. That's interesting. So okay, we've done all. Oh no, we've done all the fertilizing contracts. There's just cultivating, which I could do. I've got a good sized cultivator, but I'm not so inclined to do. And the same with baling contracts. I could do them, but they're all going to be silage contracts, so that involves doing the contract, holding over some of the wrapped grass bales and waiting 3 days before I can sell them to make the bonus income. Plus I kind of want to move on, and let's get our harvest in, which, as I said, is going to be about 6 days' time, I think. We'll see in a minute when I get turned around. So I'm not doing too badly with this sprayer. Okay, let's have a look. So we can harvest barley and cotton. Can't do cotton on this map because there's no... I don't think there's a sell point for it. Next month we have wheat. I don't have any. Oats, I don't have any. Canola, I think I have. And, spelt triticale and rye. Should plant rye next year. But we've got spelt fields, so they should be ready to harvest potentially tomorrow game day. Might not, but, the earliest they can be ready is tomorrow game day. So that might be a thing. Meanwhile, 84% done. There's still kind of a lot of field left to do here. Well, it's coming up to 10 o'clock real time, and Teenage Osa is still not awake yet, so we will finish the stream off when Teenage Osa gets up, because obviously it's Christmas Day, so spending time with family. Probably phone my parents up sometime. And then for me, Monday is not a work day, so I will try and stream on Monday. Maybe we'll do some more here and get this series moved along a bit. I might, if I feel like it, do some FS22 and talk more detailed about FS22 while we're doing things within the game. But that's up in the air. That's undecided. But the plan is to have a stream on Monday. I think I'm also off work on Friday as well. So we will probably have... Saturday is going to be 1st of January. So we may have 3 streams next week. Friday, Saturday and Monday again. Early morning streams as opposed to evening streams. And then, we see where we go from there. And obviously, there will be notification before we wind up this stream. I'd like to max out our sheep, and we are very, very close. So if we get through to December, when the sheep start breeding, we're going to hit 1,500 sheep at the end of this year. I think. Yes. I mean, after selling all of the baby male sheep that we got, we've still got 380, 320 in this field. There's only capacity for 172 more. And add another... we might make 1,500, I don't know. But we'll see. Be nice to get there. At least briefly. And then end of spring, I tend to sell all the male sheep and move along. But that field of 320 sheep, I think by winter they're not going to be old enough for breeding. So we're just going to be looking at the 250, the 2 fields of 250 producing. Okay. There's a little bit of interference along the beacons where the little tufts of whatever's growing in this field is growing. 92% done. I guess I could speed up time. It's going to stay daylight until quite late in the day, so there's short grass silage. I'm not sure I can fit 4,000 litres in that. These are all young sheep, 0.2 years newborn, so they don't eat nearly as much as the other two fields do, in spite of the fact there's more sheep in that field. So we don't have to feed them twice as much, and B, the troughs don't have that capacity yet. So as they eat more, the trough will magically expand in the capacity of food it can hold. You've got to get this way down here before you stick another bale of silage in it. This one? That's 3,000. There is possibly room for a bale of clover silage. That one maybe not. And there's enough food in there to last us till tomorrow morning. So that's fine. And sheep aren't productive at the moment, so it's not like we will lose production if I don't feed them. So I may just skip through the night and then run through tomorrow morning. As I was saying, that's the other thing with FS22, because you can use the sleep trigger at any point during the day. If the animals are all fed and I don't have any harvesting to do, I can jump through, I can sleep 2-3 days in a row without having to worry about anything too much. And then maybe, okay, by the third day I should probably top up the food in the barns, and then sleep another 2 or 3 days in rapid succession. The only times you're really having to do stuff is when your spawn points are full. So if you've got chickens, too many eggs, you're going to have to move the eggs out of the spawn point. You don't necessarily have to sell them, but you have to move them. Same with honey, same with the other things, the greenhouses. Although things like the greenhouses and various production facilities have a buffer, so you can fill up 4 or 6 pallets outside, and then there's a buffer of another 10,000 litres before you absolutely have to start moving stuff. So it's not a bad thing. It's not, I've got to do something every single day. Even with the chickens and the egg production, I can wait. I can unload that spawn point every other day. Part of the problem, obviously, with the 1.2 patch is you can't move the pallets by hand anymore. So you need to get a skidded steer, front loader, telehandler type of thing in order to free up the spawn area. And obviously keep the food topped up. What is it? I consider you're loading greenhouses with food. Their food source is water, but you're filling those up and they're magically making stuff appear. So you have to take care of things, but it's not like seasons here where we have to feed our sheep approximately every 36 hours. So I can't jump forward a day. Or I can't jump 3 days in rapid succession because I have to take time out to feed the sheep every single day. But also I can't use the triggers daily. I can't go at 8 o'clock in the morning and say, okay, nothing to do today, I'll just sleep the day out. You have to kick time up to whatever it is. That should be good. Okay. Now, I don't think this kit is going to fit in that shed anymore. Just a thought. Okay. Oh, of course it has a steering axle on the sprayer, so I'm going to be concentrating a little bit just right now. So we might need to find a new home for the sprayer, and the Valtra may become a little bit more seen around the farm doing stuff other than fertilising the fields and topping the sugar beets and potatoes. Okay, well, we managed to get that in there, and that's about as far as it goes. So I guess we are dropping that off there and moving this over a bay. So maybe we will stop using black wheels. Okay, that tractor in the we can start parking that with the other tractors potentially. Drop that there, and oops. Over to the back. So we could go and get some more pallets of fertilizer sometime. We've got a couple of solids. Okay, let's go check the JCB out. See how our things are all the way down to 17,000. Yay. Yay us. It's 17 plus 12 is 30, so I'll probably get 2 stacks, maybe 3. Off the floor. Oh, come on. Now I got that dragging on the floor, which is why it's misbehaving. There we go. That's better. We have clover silage and grass silage. That's okay. Yeah, because we've got obviously our clover is surrounded by grass around the edge, map grass as opposed to planted grass. Very, very occasionally we'll end up with a grass bale rather than a clover bale. Of course, the other problem with this job is that it is a little bit tedious. So I may, as soon as this thing's, we may go a second round, I guess. That's 30,000, 34,000. Another stack is 12. Put us on 46. See, the thing, I could speed up time and do another 50,000